Good morning and welcome. Thank you for choosing to be here and to trust this space. Today, we're holding space for one of really life's most challenging truths. Our theme today is the Kintsugi heart. That's a Japanese word, and it's about healing stronger in broken places. Kintsugi is a beautiful Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with seams of gold, believing it becomes more precious for having been broken. So today we're going to explore how we can apply the same gentle philosophy to our hearts and lives when we feel that they are shattered. So, this session is a sanctuary, and over time, we're going to acknowledge the pain and sadness and valid parts of the human experience. And we're going to move our bodies with a gentle flow to really release the stored grief and tension. So, find a place that feels safe, that feels comfortable, that is gentle and welcoming, and let's begin.
Welcome to the Sunday Morning Club, the place where we battle burnout and brew up bold ideas, preferably over a steamy cup of coffee. I'm Faye Chappell, and I'm your ringleader for these re energizing Sundays. If you're ready to crack the code on resetting your mindset, rebooting your goals, and laughing a little along the way, well, you're in the right place. So let's dive in.
So life doesn't always make sense. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, despite being really good people, things happen that are painful, they're unfair, and deeply sad. A loss, a setback, a disappointment that cracks us open. And in those moments, the world rushes in with advice, right? Stay strong, look on the bright side, everything happens for a reason. And while often well intentioned, that advice can feel really isolating. It's well intentioned, right? But it can make us feel isolated, as if our sadness is somehow fixed or we can rush through it to make us feel better. But what if our sadness doesn't need to be fixed? What if it just needs to be held with kindness? What if the cracks that we feel are not signs of being broken, but opportunities for a new kind of strength and a beauty to enter? This is the essence of kintsugi. I love this. So, when a treasured bowl breaks, it is usually thrown away. And I've been guilty of that in the past, right? But these pieces are carefully rejoined, and those cracks are traced with gold lacquer. And that bowl doesn't just become useful again, it becomes a unique work of art, more beautiful, more resilient because of its history. And those scars are not something to be hidden, they are the main feature. Now, when I learned about kintsugi, I completely changed how I looked at things that were broken, including myself. So today we're going to explore how we can be our own kintsugi artists. We're going to learn to hold those broken pieces of our experience with tenderness, to trace our own cracks with that gold of self-compassion, of resilience, and of wisdom, and to understand that healing isn't just about erasing the past, but integrating into who we are truly becoming. So let's begin by checking in with ourselves, okay? Let's start a little bit of a scan, a gentle heart scan. So I'm going to invite you to place a hand over your heart. And if that feels right, I want you to close your eyes. And without needing to name a specific story, just feel into this space. What is the weather like in your heart there today? Is there heaviness? Is there numbness? Is there a flicker of hope? Is there a little bit of everything? There are no right or wrong answers. Your only job is to notice with kindness, just to be gentle witness to your heart, okay? And with a one word intention, we're going to start. We're going to think about what your heart needs today. What is one word you're going to invite into this space? It might be peace, patience, strength, release, or maybe it's just ease. I love the word ease. That puts me in a completely different frame of mind whenever I use that word. So, in your journal or in the chat, I want you to share that one word intention for us together today, right? And we're going to hold that intention today. We're going to hold it, we're going to acknowledge it, and we're going to share it with warmth. So, you can say to yourself, thank you for being present. Thank you for keeping it at ease. Thank you for being patient, beautiful, whatever it is. I want you to hold that intention for yourself today, okay? Because we often struggle with sadness because we're told a story that healing means moving on, right? It means erasing the past and getting back to normal as quickly as possible. But this creates so much internal pressure, right? It can really, really hurt us. So we want to look at why this is so unhelpful. It really, I've had a lot of experience with this for over many, many years. I've had a lot of issues, a lot of sadness that has come into my world, and so I want to make sure that everyone understands. Like, this can invalidate our experience, right? When we try to rush past our sadness, right? We essentially are telling ourselves the feeling is wrong. I shouldn't feel this way. This self judgment adds a layer of suffering on top of the original pain, and it really doesn't do us any good. Grief has no timeline. The human heart doesn't heal on a schedule, right? Grief, sadness, disappointment, they're not linear processes. They come in waves. Expecting ourselves to be over it, which is a lot of people tell us when we're in a moment of sadness, of grief. When you're telling someone be over it by a certain time, it is a recipe for frustration. And I know it firsthand. And we fear, being a burden, right? We worry if we show our sadness, we will burden it to others. So we put on a brave face, right? Which is incredibly isolating and exhausting, and it prevents us from receiving that connection and the support that we truly need. And we can confuse really resilience with stoicism, right? So true resilience isn't about feeling pain, isn't about not feeling pain. It's not about being uncrackable stone, right? It's really true resilience is the ability to feel the pain, to be broken open by it, and to slowly, gently piece ourselves back together with love, with compassion. It's like the flexibility of bamboo, right? Not the rigidity of like an oak, right? We want to make sure that the Kintsugi philosophy, it frees us from this myth of moving on, and instead it invites us to move forward with, right? So it integrates our experiences into a stronger, more compassionate version of ourselves. So there's a really great quote. It's a profound quote. It's from the poet Rumi, right? And I'm sure you might have heard of this before, but the wound is the place where the light enters you. The cracks are not the end, they are the beginning of a new kind of illumination. I love that quote. It's okay to love broken things, right? It's okay to put them back together and make something unique and positive out of it. So I want you to turn to your journals, right? And just for a gentle, private exploration, okay? So I want you to, number one, acknowledge a crack, right? Bring to mind a challenge or a source of sadness that you are currently navigating. You don't need to relive it. No, not that intense, but I want you to simply write it down on your paper and acknowledge its presence in your life with a simple sentence like, I am holding sadness about this, right? I want you to really just acknowledge it. And now think about the resources or the strengths or the insights that are helping you or could help you navigate this. So this is the gold. This is the gold that in Kintsugi fixes the pottery, right? So what I want you to think of that gold, it could be your resilience, your sense of humor. It could be the love of a friend, the comfort of a pet, a moment of peace in nature. Nature's a really good one. Whatever a lesson you're learning, this will help. So I want you to list three sources of gold in your life right now, right? Three sources that really, really help you. For me, I always go back to my sense of humor. I always go back to nature and being able to, luckily, I live on the water and I love looking out. It calms me down and makes me feel peaceful. And that is part of my gold. Okay. So now I want you to think about, imagine that you're writing a short, kind note to the part of you that's hurting. what would you say? What words of comfort, patience, um, and love really that, what is it that you need to hear? I want you to write it down as a letter to yourself, right? A compassionate letter to yourself, to the part that is hurting, and that it's okay. So, again, I'm a big, big believer in acknowledging everything that's around you. You can't hold it in. If you hold it in, you can't move forward. So acknowledge where your sadness is, your grief, your pain, and then begin to move forward by understanding what's around you that can help. Okay. When we feel overwhelmed with sadness, our nervous system can become really activated, right? So we're going to try a bit of let's try the 4-7-8 breath, because that's a powerful sedative for the nervous system, right? It brings us back into our bodies, into a state of calm. So we know this. You want to exhale completely through your mouth, making a whoosh. Close your mouth and inhale quietly through your nose for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale completely through your mouth, making a whoosh sound for a count of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's only one breath. We want to do this 4 times. So again, inhaling for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, whoosh 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhaling for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out for 8. Whoosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now just allow your breath to return to normal. And I want you to notice again the feeling of calm and how your body feels grounded. This is a tool, again, you can use anytime you feel a wave of sadness or anxiety. If you've joined us every week, you know we explore breathing every single week, and I want you to always go back to it. The most powerful thing you can do to get out of wherever your focus is to do breathing. So please continue to do that whenever you feel that wave of sadness coming into you. So let's do a little bit of a meditation. We're going to call this the Kintsugi heart. So I want you to settle in again and close your eyes. And I want you to bring awareness to your heart space in the center of your chest, right? Imagine holding your heart in your hands with the utmost tenderness, the utmost care. And I want you to acknowledge any cracks you may feel, any lines of sadness, of loss, of disappointment. See them not as flaws, but as part of your heart's unique history, a map of your journey, let's say, right? So I want you to imagine a warm liquid gold light beginning to pool in the palm of your hands, right? This is the light of pure, unconditional self compassion, and it is infinitely patient and infinitely kind. So, with your breath, I want you to imagine gently tracing those cracks with your beautiful golden light. I'm going to see that gold seeping into every fissure, every crack. I want you to erase the crack, but illuminate it with the gold. And I want you to seal it with strength and wisdom and grace. I want you to feel the warmth of that golden light spreading through your entire chest, soothing, healing, mending. Your heart is not being replaced, it is being honored. It is becoming a work of Kintsugi art, whole, strong, and more beautiful for having been broken and repaired with so much love. So I want you to rest with your beautiful golden heart for a few moments, right? Breathing in peace, breathing in gentleness, making sure you feel good. And knowing that this golden light of self compassion is always within you, ready to mend and ready to soothe. Now, very quietly bring your awareness back to your room where you're ready to open your eyes. And just do it very slowly. Okay. So let's now move our bodies with the same gentleness that we've offered our hearts. On your inhale, I'm going to gently arch your spine and look up, opening your chest. This is a seated cat. And then on your exhale, round your spine, tucking in your chin like a seated cow, right? And slowly with your breath. So inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, open your heart, stretch up, look up. And exhaling, tucking your chin. One more time. Inhaling and exhaling. Now I want you to take your arms and I want you to wrap them around you and gently rock side to side as if you would soothe a small child. This is a profound act of self soothing, right? So, however you want to rock, when you hold a baby, you have a tendency of rocking them, right? So, I want you to just rock yourself. This is a gentle, really a self hug and rock, let's call it that. Okay. And whenever you need to soothe yourself, give yourself a rock. You'll feel yourself calming down as you do it. You can do this as long as you want, and you will start to feel much more calm. Okay. And then when we're calm, we want to gather our strength. So we'll use a little bit of an arm movement. So as we inhale, we're going to slowly sweep our arms up and down as if gathering strength and energy from the earth around you. So, as any way you feel good, if you want to do it up and down or bring it forward, right? And then bring it into your heart. So, if we're going forward, we bring it into our heart. If we're going, arms are up and down and around, we're bringing that energy into our heart, right? So, we're going to inhale it and exhale and bring it into our heart. I want you to do it as often as you want, whichever arm movement feels good for you. If it's forwards and in, if it's up and bringing it in, however you feel good, I want you to bring that into your heart, feeling like you are gathering strength and energy around you. Now I want you to inhale and make soft fists with your hands, just soft fists. Okay? And as you exhale, slowly open your fingers, releasing any tension you're holding. You don't have to hold your hands up. You can put them in your lap. I'm just having them up so you can see them. So as you inhale, soft, 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 soft hands. As you exhale, open your fingers, relieving any tension that you're feeling. You can do this at any time. You can start feeling that tension release. Now rest your hands in your lap. Have your palms facing up in a gesture of receiving. Okay, so it's either this or this. And close your eyes and be still for a few minutes, feeling grounded and integrated. When you leave your palms facing up, you are in the gesture of receiving. So that's when you usually see people meditating. Their hands are either cupped or their hands are out. Sometimes with a mudra, we can do that another time. But whatever you want, I want your palms always face up and make sure you feel like you are receiving, right? You are receiving kindness and gratitude and light and strength and hope and whatever word talks to you. You can do that for a number of minutes as long as you want. But for difficult days, it's really helpful to think about a comfort kit, right? A small collection of things that you can turn to that will really soothe your nervous system. It's kind of an act of practical self care. So if you have a pretty box or a basket Put a kit in it so that you don't have to go looking for it. So, what would be in this comfort kit? Well, it could be a favorite soft blanket or a sweater, right? Some specific calming tea. It might be a playlist of comforting music or a gentle, a favorite gentle book or a movie, right? The phone number of a trusted friend, a scented candle or essential oils, right? And your journal. So having this kit ready means that when you hit a wave of sadness, you don't have to think about what to get. You just reach for something and you know it will bring you a measure of comfort. I know there's certain movies that I immediately go to that make me, it takes the sadness away because it's just a joyful movie. It makes me happy when I watch it. There's certain ones that I always go back to time and time again. Again, there's might be a book of poetry. I know what tea that I like to drink. I know I love to be wrapped in blankets. I walk around a lot of the day with blankets. So think about this beautiful basket that you can put up. And as you look at it, so I'm also a feng shui master and I'm very cognizant of the energy around us and the placement. So when you have a beautiful basket and you put in your basically your calming kit, even just looking at it will calm you because what happens in feng shui, it's not about placing an object. Somebody will say, place a metal object here. It's not, it's changing the energy, but it's your intention. So when you see the basket, your thoughts, your intentions immediately move to calm because that is your basket that when you look at has all your soothing properties in it, right? And it works the same way in feng shui. So it's a really great thing to do. I hope you will try it, and even if it's not a basket, it could be, just, you reach out to a certain movie, a certain music list, a certain book, whatever it is that makes you feel better. So I love the idea of this whole comfort kit. I put mine together and it's there. It's pretty. It's in a basket. I love it. And it makes me happy to look at it because I know that I can go there when I need to. So today we really stepped away from world's pressure to be fine, right? I don't. People used to ask me how everything was, and as always, back in the day, I would say, "Oh, everything's fine." Now I don't. I actually give myself permission to be human, right? I actually answer the question truthfully instead of just saying I'm fine, because we've learned that our hearts, like those kintsugi bowls, they don't lose their value when they're broken. In fact, through courageous and compassionate acts of healing, they can become more beautiful, they can become more resilient. So here's your challenge this week, and it's simply one of gentleness. When a difficult feeling arises, try not to fight it. Acknowledge it with a simple, I see you're here, right? I see you're here. This is challenging. I'm sad. I'm full of grief. I'm okay with that. And then I want you to practice that 4-7-8 breath when you're feeling overwhelmed. Then I want you to remember that image of the golden kintsugi heart, right? So you are fixing your heart as we fix those kintsugi bowls with a beautiful gold light instead of the gold thread that's weaved into the kintsugi bowls. And then consider putting together 1 or 2 items for your comfort kit. I can't even express how great it would be to have it there in front of you at any time. So thank you for your incredible courage and your vulnerability today, right? And please be exceptionally kind to yourself for the rest of the day. You are precious, and cracks and all are part of who you are.
And that's a wrap for today's Sunday Morning Club session. Feeling inspired? Well, good. Keep riding that wave all week long. And don't forget to join me live every Sunday at 7 a.m. for real time conversations. So if you miss a session, no worries. Grab the replays, sign up for our next big thing, and get all the juicy details at sunnymornings.club. So thanks for tuning in. Go out there and spark some magic in your life and in your business.